Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Outside the Fire. I am your host, Krazee J, and I am so happy to have you here in front of me again. As always, we try to have a good time together, and the guests we are currently talking to are all competing in the ZestFest in Dallas. So we are trying to get to know some of them that we haven't met before, and even kind of touch up with some that we have met before. This next guest that I have, I haven't had a chance to have an interview session with, but maybe others have. Now I've gotten to know this person over the years, and as in my description, um, a very influential person in the Chilli community, I would say, even though he may not realize it, and also very generous, willing to do anything to help out. Supports the community in a great way. But let's not waste any more time. Please help me welcome Jared Farmer J Smith.
What's going on, Jay? How's it going,
welcome. Bud? Good. Yes. So happy to have you here in front of me, beside me, however you want to call this.
There you go. Krazee J, back like a vertebrae. I know I always say that every time you do a show. But it's you remember Insane Clown Posse back in the day, dude. We were kids, and that was like some of the banging music. Anyways, of course, Violent J is one of the rappers there, and he's got a song. He's like, "I'm Violent J, and I'm back like a vertebrae." And so, anyways, every time I see your name, I think of I'm Krazee J, and I'm back like a vertebrae. So, anyways,
yes. Oh, I love it. Like I said, thank you for squeezing me into your busy life. I know you are constantly doing something, family, working. So it's like I said, scheduling these. We fit them in when we can. So
I don't even have time to shave, Krazee J.
I did.
I don't have time to shave.
I
did. Yeah, but that's for your job. You've got to do that.
That's true. That is true.
Trim and proper.
They say professionalism goes a long way. Something.
They say always dress for the job that you want. I'm going for homeless.
If that's the case, I probably wouldn't wear clothes anymore. No. All right, but let's get down to it. So, since I have not interviewed you in this interview format yet, this is your quick opportunity to give us just a little bit of information about yourself, whatever you're comfortable sharing, maybe a little bit of a background, and go ahead and get into it because I'm going to ask you anyway how you got started into this Chilli community, please.
Okay, so first of all, I'm Jared Smith. They call me Farmer J. And the reason they call me Farmer J, yeah, you hear my kids screaming, I grow kids. And that's also true. You'll find out more. But anyways, no, I started growing super hots, right? And my wife got me this cool little tackle box and put my seeds in there, organize it. And I was like, I was going to put Farmer Jared's pepper seeds. And I started drawing with a Sharpie. And I stopped at the J because I ran out of room because I drew too big. And I'm like, Farmer J, that works. So it just stuck. That's exactly how I got my name. That's exactly how it stuck. And that was 2018. I got my first order of Carolina Reapers off eBay. So anyways, got the Carolina Reaper seeds. Couldn't get them germinate. Don't know what I was doing wrong. So I found PLC. A lot of you new people kind of know it as Pepper Lovers Community PLC, and that's how Zachary Goot, love you. But anyways, that's how I found out how to germinate. And then so when I joined Pepper Lovers group in late 2018, early 2019, there was like 1,500 members. I think they're up to like 30,000, 40,000.
Wow.
So, and then I met a group of people. They started chasing capsaicin, brought me in as a moderator, and then it's all history from then.
Nice. Very cool. So, did you have any experience with growing other types of things, or did you just start growing with peppers? Did you grow anything other than?
Well, I grew some marijuana when I was like 14 years old in my closet, so that was a good time. And I didn't know anything about anything. I thought you just put a black light in your closet and the stuff would just grow. It does, but it goes straight up. So I had a marijuana plant when I was 14 years old. My parents didn't even know about, and it had grown like this tall, but it was like straight up. It had drawn like what do they call it? Just straight to the light. So it was like long and lanky and had like 3 leaves on it, and it was all jacked up. And I grew it in a coffee cup. Anyways, my parents were gone, and we had a party, and they called the cops. And then so when my buddy, we were all pulled out of the house, and my buddy went through the back door into the back of my house through the marijuana plant in the woods and took all our alcohol and set it in the woods. That way, when the cops left, we could continue the party. Yeah, it was a bad deal. But anyways, so I grew that, and then as I got older, I thought that it would be cheaper to grow your own produce than buy it at the store. This is not true. This is a lie. Go buy your $1.99 a pound tomatoes. I promise you it's not true. So me and my wife started gardening, and we started doing peppers.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, like I said, real reason we have you here is ZestFest in Dallas. You received an invite from the League of Fire. I assume no, I know better. I know you did, and I think you are one of the quality competitors, just as every one of them. I mean, everybody has a chance, but there's quite a few heavy hitters that I'm sure you're even nervous about. That you're even
100%. Dude, all right. So I try to tell people, always stay humble when you sit down at a competition, when you start a challenge or whatever, because different capsinoids affect different people in certain ways. You don't know what kind of peppers are going to be brought out. I've seen Thai peppers take people down. I've seen habaneros give people hiccups. Okay, that seasoned growers, give them hiccups, and they don't understand. You don't know who you're going to sit down next to. You don't know who's going to win. You don't know what kind of peppers are going to be thrown at. Anything can happen. There are some fan favorites. There are some people that have proved themselves time after time after time. But like I said, nobody has a clue what's going to go down.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and like people have said, they have different ways of trying to train themselves or whatever. And yes, tolerance is trainable. Obviously, we do know that. But the type of training is also different. Whether you train with tinctures or pods or whatever sauces, it's all different. It all affects you differently. It all burns differently, and
yeah, there's three different capsinoids in capsaicin that make up capsaicin, and the reason you have like a different throat burn or different tongue burn is because the certain level of capsinoids is different in that particular type of pepper. That's why when you eat a scorpion pepper, it has a certain kind of capsinoid that stings the middle of your tongue, and that's why it's called a scorpion pepper. It feels like it's stinging. Then you have reapers that are more of a throat burner because a certain level of that capsinoid is different, and people don't understand that. Like it can take you out, like something you're not prepared for.
Right, for sure. Yeah. So your first challenge, let's talk about that. The first spicy challenge you've done. Let's talk about that. What was the first thing that really got you kind of kicked off into like, I really enjoy this?
Pocky One Chip 2019.
Okay.
That was the first thing. My niece and her husband had come to my house for Thanksgiving. And he had just done the Pocky One Chip 2019 version. He's like, "Oh, dude, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal." So he's like, I'm like, "Dude, I'd like to try that." He's like, "Well, I bought like a 5-pack." He's like, "I'll mail you one." And I didn't think anything of it. And about a week later, I get Pocky One Chip in the mail. So I'm like, let's eat it. So I sat on my front porch and chomped it down, and it got me to what I thought at that point in my life was pretty warm.
Yes.
So, and I fell in love with it. Then I went to the that year's version of the Choco Loco Challenge, the little square. And that was my first, I know you're probably gonna ask this later. I watch all your interviews. That was my first time battling with cat cramps.
There we go. That was my next question.
That was my first time battling with cat cramps. I came home from church, hadn't eaten anything all day long. And I looked at the little box and I was like, I'll eat this piece of chocolate real quick while we decide what we're doing for lunch. So I ate that, and in about 20 minutes, I was balled up in my bed in the fetal position, sweating like a newborn baby. And I was like, what? I'm like, I think I need to go to the hospital, but I'm not sure. So I'm like shivering, pouring sweat. And I told Hope, I said, babe, you're going to have to get on Google, figure out what's going on with me. And that's the day that I'm like, oh, this is normal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Normal for the abnormal.
Yeah. So that was my first experience. And I was hooked, Jay. Like the bigger, the better, the hotter, the sweatier. And I wanted to go. And mainly I think what it was is I wanted to see how far I could push myself.
Sure.
That is not wrong.
Yeah. If there's a man that has seen pictures of craziness, that GIF right there, he has definitely seen the lineup of all of us in a pretty vulnerable position.
We were talking in the ZestFest chat yesterday, and Ruthie Booth said, I think I was the first one to, lie on the tile floor naked from the V2 chug, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I said, I was the first person to ever do a live video naked and chug V2. And she's like, is that the video without your shirt on? I'm like, you're going to have to really be more specific right here. Because anybody that knows me has seen me in mankinis, naked, topless.
Yes.
I'm not shy. I'm not shy.
Right. Yeah. So, the adrenaline rush that comes with the burn, or what they call the capsaicin high, basically. Can you kind of, in your way, describe, that that feeling, that how you normally would feel if you reach that level, which I'm sure you.
I'm going to share something. I'm going to share something with you right now, and it's just part of my past. I was a meth addict for almost 20 years, and I've experienced a lot of highs and lows, and no, I've been really high before. I've not been that guy in the gas station you see chewing his face off, but I've been in pretty vulnerable positions. Unfortunately, with capsaicin, I don't get a cap high. And I think it's mainly because I overused those glands back when I was on some illegal substances. So I don't get that. But here's where my high comes in. My high comes in from completing a challenge. My high comes in from conquering something I've wanted to do. My high comes in pushing myself to bigger limits. That's where my high comes in.
Yeah. Well, I thank you for sharing that, because I know, personal things, a lot of people like to try to push that back. But what I mentioned it in my description about being an influential and an inspirational person. Some people did know that story about you and have seen the positivity that you have basically portrayed, and you're a very generous person. You give right back to the community, and you decided to take on different spicy soy projects, and I was going to get into that a little bit too. And you decided one day that you weren't going to do it for profit. You were going to do it for other people to enjoy the burn as well.
Yeah. What a lot of people don't understand is a lot of people that enjoy the spice of life and in every aspects of life are low income families. I'm a low income family. I'm the breadwinner, and I have 4 daughters at home. So I know what it's like living paycheck to paycheck. I know what it's like trying to get a hustle to pay the light bill. I know what it's like to come home with no water on. And, fortunately for the past 5 or 6 years, Hope and I have been where we don't have to worry about that anymore. So a year ago, I believe last week, we decided to make all of our products completely free to the general public. So anything that I either give it away or just charge shipping on.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And, you have taken on the in my opinion, the soy monopoly in the Chilli community. What is your inspiration behind a lot of these? Is it like something you discuss with somebody like, oh, we should try that? Or do you just kind of Because I know you do like a regional inspiration almost sometimes.
All right, so basically how that came about is I went to my friend John's house in Wisconsin, and I collected a lot of his pods while I was up there on the farm. Some of y'all know him, John Zwicky. He's one of my top closest friends. Daily phone calls. Anyways, I left his house and I came back home and I had some of his pods, and he had sent me home with a case of brew. And so I'm sitting there about to make a batch of 7-pot soy. And I was threw a bunch of his pods in there, and then I had a spotted cow, and Hope's like, "You're not gonna pour beer in that soy, are you?" And I'm like, "I am now."
Okay.
So I added the beer that's crafted in Wisconsin, and some of y'all know that's how Wisconsin came about, because John calls Wisconsin Wisconsin just for a joke. Then I came home and I collected pods from all my buddies who live here in Arkansas, and I made a Sassnacra soy, which is actually Arkansas spelled backwards.
Ah, okay.
So
I didn't know that. Good one.
Yeah, so Sassnacra soy. So from then on, I told everybody, I told everybody that I would never release the original 7-pot soy again. Because I gave that recipe to the community. That's theirs. Yeah, they can do what they want. They alter whatever they want. I won't ever make it again. But what we've done is I got to talking to Jeff's fireman one day, and he sends all my soy sauces from every batch to Shen over in the UK. So I got with Jeff and was like, man, he said, you really should make a soy inspired by the Queen. And I was like, you know what, I really should. Yeah. So I got with Shen and I asked her to pick out 5 different fruits or ingredients to go into the batch. And I had her help send those to me, and I infused that. And that's how we got the Queen soy. Yeah. So after that, I talked to Rachel and Megan over at Silver Creek Pepper Company. So when we get back from ZestFest, we'll be making the Silver Creek soy. I'm also going to talk to Roger Schreer. We're going to try to do a hot dang show soy. He wants me to video call him and us chat about it. So that's in the works. And in December, we're going to wrap up the year with Chips and Fireman soy. And I want to go around. It may not be monthly, but from now on, what we're going to do is we're going to make our regular sauces, but we're going to do one every few months of somebody out of the community and go to them and say, hey, let's do this.
I like that. That's awesome. That's, like I said, I mentioned it already, the generosity and the influence, like I said, it goes a long way. And like I said, people recognize that. And, because of that, you are looked upon as, and I don't want to say like a leader, but like an influencer. People want to pass that positivity on, and it carries through. And I love it.
You're never going to be able to make the world a better place unless you share what you've learned so far. Yes. So with new growers, you take 10 minutes, tell them how to plant the seeds, share about a tip or a trick you've learned. A sauce maker, say they want to get into sauces, share with them a basic recipe, something they can build on.
There's a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I know he spends a lot of time hanging out.
He's got a girlfriend now, and he spends a lot more time with her, and I'm sad, but she's sexier, so
well, I haven't seen her yet.
She's prettier than me.
Yeah, but he still made time for you this weekend, so it's very
He did. He came up and we hung out and went out to eat and stuff
Jeff
like that.
wants to know if he can cook his sauce outside.
You can cook anything you want outside, Jeff, but if you label it for cottage law, I will shame you all across the interwebs.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into some things like, for instance, a challenge that gave you the most problems, whether it be a League of Fire challenge or something kind of somebody else came up with. Can you talk about that, please?
Okay, so are we talking about aftermath-wise?
Both. Let's do both, even if they're different. The worst challenge you dealt with while doing it, and then even afterwards. Yes.
I have to say, when I set the world record for the rummy beers was the most difficult, because if you've watched that video, or if anybody's ever watched that back, even if you only take the time to watch the last 20 minutes, halfway through bag 3 is when the O'Reilly says resin hit my stomach and I started cramping. So
Already.
for the last 2.5 bags, or 1.5 bags, excuse me, I was enduring cat cramps during the challenge.
Yeah. Wow.
Now let's talk about worst aftermath. That was bad. That was bad aftermath. But Krazee J, let's think back to around winter of, I want to say early 2020. Me and you, and I can't remember who else, did the Moab collab together.
We did.
Krazee J, I got off that camera, which we all know that was a very tough challenge. And I proceeded to lay on my front porch in my boxers for the next like 4 hours, dry heaving and cramping. Okay, so let's think back what I just said. It was like February of 2020. It was 12 degrees outside. I'm in my boxers, 320 pounds, no shyness at all, laying on my front porch. And so that was terrible. And honestly, and this will be perfectly honest, I stayed away from League of Fire challenges for quite some time after that because that's how bad it hurt me.
Yes, those Old Agnes challenges were no joke. And I'm telling you, I think they were worth more points. They should be worth more points.
I think Jeff hosted us on that, if I'm not mistaken.
Jeff was is still an amazing host. You know, anytime you have the opportunity to have him in front of your screen is
100%
for sure. Yeah, so interesting stuff. So let's talk about your favorite pepper, whether it be a common or uncommon pepper, by flavor, taste, burn, all that stuff. Favorite.
Brazilian starfish, hands down, is the best pepper that walks face this earth.
And can you describe that for people so we can?
Brazilian starfish is a small little flat shaped pepper with a rounded bulb on the bottom. So if you can imagine a starfish in your hand and a rounded underneath, and it's red. They also have an orange version and a yellow version. But anyways, when you bite into it, you'll get just a little spike of heat, almost like you're eating a Thai pepper. And then you'll taste nothing but a fruity, sweet pepper. You know the lunchbox peppers y'all get in the store out in the bag, and it has like the red and the yellow and stuff like that. Yeah, and you know how you can pull those out and snack on them? That's what the perimeter and the outside and all the flesh tastes like. And the seeds just have the most minute little heat, just like a Thai pepper or a jalapeno. They are brilliant.
Nice. Very cool. All right, since we went there, let's talk about your least favorite. And I already know this answer, I believe.
Anything chocolate.
Yes. Yeah, I knew that.
Anything chocolate. And if y'all watched Chilli Comp I did a few weeks ago in Mountain View, they threw a chocolate ghost and a chocolate scorpion back to back. And let me tell you guys, a lot of y'all can't see this from watching the video, but I almost painted the whole crowd chocolate.
Yeah.
Anything that tastes like floor cleaner when it's in your mouth is really hard to swallow.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, and I know a lot of people watching do know, we don't mean chocolate as in your Hershey's candy bar chocolate. It's a chocolate because of the color, not because of the flavor and a delicious treat.
It's really putting off when you join the Chilli community and realize all these things that you thought were true and weren't. I'll tell on myself. I did not know that jalapenos finished red.
Right, I didn't know that either because nobody.
100%.
Yeah. Nobody grows them that long, and they always serve them green. Yeah.
And if y'all have never had a red jalapeno or waited for one to turn red in your garden, so this is another thing the plant does. When that pod goes to ripen, the plant injects sugar into all those pods, and that's what helps the color change is the sugar. And also what it does is it forces that pod to fall off once it gets overripe, and that's what keeps the seeds alive as long as they possibly can to better off the generation. So when you have an unripe green jalapeno, it's going to be bitter, where when it's finished red, it's very, very sweet.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually eaten a fully ripened one yet.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So, not to get too personal, but you are a person that travels a lot for work. You're driving around. and I know you do a lot of challenges and flash challenges, and in your truck.
Mhm.
um, so how does that work for you? Because I know not everything you do is simple, and you got to ride around and deal with.
So it depends on the day. So another one of my closest friends is Ryan Thomas, and then, as most people in the community know him as Evil Wonka. And he comes up with these brilliant ideas about 8 a.m. and posts them as flashes in Cat Group.
Yeah, first
And
two, hurry up.
I can't deny hopping in on one of those. So therefore, I do usually bring 3 or 4 bottles of Tink with me, freshies if I have it, and then anything prepared, like a bottle of hot sauce or two, because he may have us chug a bottle of hot sauce, just so I can play. So what that does to me, though, is I'm on a very strict keto diet because I'm trying not to be fat anymore. And just when I eat food, it gets lodged right in this area, and I don't like it. So I've been on a strict keto diet, so I have messed up, and fortunately for me, I have a bed 3 feet behind me. So if I need to ball up and cramp for a while or regret life for a little bit, I have a place to do it.
Look, see, we've mentioned this already, Jason. I agree. One of the largest hearts in the pepper community. But
well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm with it on that. So is there any maybe unique talents that you would like to share, or even like uncommon knowledge that you might know that
So I knew this question was coming up as well. Yeah. And I don't do it much anymore, but every tattoo that's on my body, I hand drew.
Oh, wow.
All my artwork on my body is hand drawn. Nice. I drew it all myself. It's all stuff out of I have a notebook here, and I draw all my own artwork. So if y'all like to see, I don't mind sharing.
Very cool.
So here's a artogram. So these are just some of my older stuff. That sun's on my left arm. I don't have that one yet, but yeah.
Very
some
cool.
Angel.
Yeah. I like that.
My angel wings.
Yeah.
But all my stuff, this is also the sign of Libra with a family tree and the year I drew it. So this is just some stuff I do. This one's on my right arm. But yeah.
Very cool. I like that. Very, very cool. Awesome.
So it took me.
Yeah, that is something I did not know about you.
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody knew that all my tattoos were hand drawn, but it's always been really important for me. If I'm going to get something tattooed on my body, that's a section of my life I'm proud of, sure. And something that I went through or something like that. So I was trying to think, because I knew this question was coming up, and I looked at Hope and I was like, what's something about me? Also, I really, really like stand-up comedy, and I like doing impersonations. So I can do Westy Your Bestie. It's probably my best one.
It's awesome, because I literally was going to ask you about that right now.
Yeah, I can do Westy Your Bestie. So if anybody doesn't know who Westy Your Bestie is, he's an Australian TikToker, really good guy. Westy Your Bestie is a character. It's not his real voice. Right. He's just putting it on. I've heard him talk, and he's a great human. So anybody who's like, I can't stand this guy, you can't stand that character.
The character, right?
Yeah. So I'll do it for you, community. Y'all want me to do it?
Yeah. Heck yes. Heck yes.
Carolina Reaper and some Mother Lizzie's chili.
Yes. Yes. You have literally perfected that, because if you have not seen this guy, I'm telling you, he will make you laugh. And there's random cans of
WD-40.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, and if you don't know him, go look him up on TikTok. He's a fun guy. I don't know what his aftermath is. I don't care. He's entertaining. He's enjoyable. Even if you go behind his back and make fun of him to your friends, at least he's taking up some of your mind space for that day. And
that's it. And he actually embraces that. He did a thing one time where he was encouraging people to make fun of him.
Yeah. I remember I did the parody video. Do you remember FJ Your Bestie? That was fun.
Yes. That was awesome. Yeah, like I said, I appreciate all of this. So, like I said, ZestFest in Dallas is coming up. That's a big deal. You were invited to compete, which means you're competing with some of the top chili heads in North America, including some champions who are coming to reclaim or keep their belts. What is your
Yep.
opinion on all of that?
With my opinion, it's kind of like we started the interview out, Jay. Every person that walks upon that stage needs to be very, very humble. I love the dad look you just gave, by the way. That was top tier dad look. That's the one I used to get in church when I was a kid. So, so everybody needs to be very, very humble. They don't know who they're sitting down next to. There's Bat Pants returning champion, Mike Jack returning champion, Dustin the Atomic Menace, another good friend of mine. You know, there's some really heavy hitters out here. You've got Goot, who doesn't. We don't know what Goot's gonna do. You know, we've got Ruthie Booth, who impressed every single freaking
100%.
one of us.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen Bob Gilbert take down a contest. Brandon Collins, you don't know what he's gonna pull out of his closet. No pun intended. You know, we don't know. You know. You wanted to laugh. I know you did.
I did.
So, you know, with each one of these participants, you don't know what's going to happen. There's every moment counts.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Farmer J, I of course appreciate your time and getting me a chance to squeeze in. I know you have something yourself personally coming up that you're getting ready to do, a challenge that we saw last night with Ruthie. So if people are interested in seeing that, so go ahead and kind of give yourself a plug. Maybe if you want to plug, you know, whatever right now, so we can kind of wrap up this interview and get you onto your little event you're going to.
I'm going to take the chance right now to plug Krazee J. If you don't know this soul, you need to subscribe to his channel. He's a beautiful person inside and out. He's up in the northeast. You know, he loves peppers. He loves doing fun shit, and we'd like to see more of you.
Yes, I'm coming back. So I appreciate that. I really do. That really does mean a lot to me. Like I said, I'm so glad I get to sit down with you guys, all of you, because it is a big deal. I remember I literally started this randomly last time, and now it's become a thing where the Chili Queen has asked me to continue doing these, you know. And
what's so cool about that, Jay? And let me just tell you, the League of Fire has planned on getting bigger. They want to get bigger. They want to take over this championship pepper eating. Now, let me tell you, there's some big things to come, and 100%. You know, I can see you, if they ever do organize positions to travel, I could see you 100% being the media guy for them.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
How cool would it be to be in a little box watching this competition, giving this play-by-play?
I do it anyway. I do it from here anyway on the live stream. So
yeah, but you see what I'm saying? There, Italy,
sure.
France, United Kingdom, Canada, Mexico. You know, the sky's the limit, almost literally. You know, and so you doing this and taking your time out, and I don't think people understand that's 14 competitors at 37 minutes a piece, which is the average length of a Krazee J interview. That's a lot of time out of this man's day. So y'all give him a round of applause.
Thank you, for real. Thank you, appreciate that. And as always, I appreciate you getting the time to do this. Like I said, I know everybody's busy, and we make it work. That's what we do, you know. As a family, we make things happen. So yeah, I got more to get through, just as you know. So I hope you all continue watching these interviews and other things. You know, this channel, I do other spicy challenges, product reviews as well. But I'm not trying to take this moment away from Jared. I just wanted to add on to that because he did put me in there. So I appreciate you.
Do you, boo boo. You do you.
And I do thank you for your time. So you know, great interview, man. Like with everybody, I appreciate you. So thank you.
Yeah. So if y'all want to see me die here in about 26 minutes, I'll be going live on my personal Facebook page. It is public. So if you're not a friend or whatever, if I don't ever talk to you and you were like, hey, I want to be that guy's friend, I'm not going to accept your friend request without you send me an inbox first saying, hey, I just want to see your chili challenge. I'm like, all right, cool. You can come, because there's too many weirdos out here. But yeah, I'll be doing that live on my personal Facebook. It is public. So yeah.
Awesome.
Growing at home in West Virginia challenge.
Awesome. Yes. Awesome. And he was in here earlier, so I don't know if he's still watching now, but good luck in that challenge. I've already seen it once, so prepare yourself, man.
I'm about to die. Maybe I'll get Hope to make some aftermath video for y'all, and y'all can see me naked on the tile floor, screaming Krazee J's name.
Oh yeah.
All right, love you, Jay.
Last thought that's going to go through your mind while you're struggling.
Yeah, love you, Jay. I appreciate you having me on, buddy.
I'll see you. Well, there you have it. That's Farmer Jay. A little bit of a backstory, a little bit of information about him. Great guy. Like I said, heart of everything, man. Heart of gold, heart of platinum. Yeah. So I appreciate you all watching as always. I love the community. I love the world. I love you and you and you and you. I love everybody. I am Krazee J, and I like to do things the crazy way. Stay crazy, my friends. And I definitely hope to see you soon. Yeah. Love you.